Uh, all right. So this kind of got brought. This is one of those stories that I feel like was underreported. Okay, and I don't think that Spencer, you're fucking fired for this banner. What the fuck is this? What? What? That is literally not what I'm going to say at all. Okay, we know that Trump mishandled things with COVID. He trusted Fauci too much. He didn't act quickly enough to shut down the country. I'm sorry, shut down the borders of the country, not shut down the country itself. If he had shut down the borders, we wouldn't need a fucking shutdown. We wouldn't. Jay, we literally would not need a fucking, like, I'm talking about not even American citizens are allowed back. I'm saying
we never needed a lockdown to begin with. We never needed it. It didn't even need to happen like that. Like locking down businesses, locking down schools, locking down like fucking children being able to go and hang out and be in schools and learning and all that kind of stuff and ruining hundreds of thousands of businesses. None of that needed to happen at all.
None of it.
And you finally have CDC like admitting to the shit that they did. And honestly, when you look at it and when you think about it, it's like they did it on purpose to tank the economy.
It's all by design. Jay, it absolutely is by design.
Absolutely, it's by design.
I don't even need one of these. I don't even need one of these anymore because that's what we said. Was everything we said, at least in I don't know, maybe not at the time, but like as we learn new information, we didn't actually dismiss all that shit outright.
Yeah,
if we thought something was ridiculous, which there were times in which we definitely did, we at least didn't rule out the possibility that maybe the other side has it right. We didn't.
No, and not only that.
Now Spencer's gonna pull clips of basically me saying, "Oh, Anthony Fauci, please let me come on HPH and let me suck your dick." Yum, 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 yum. That's what Spencer's gonna do.
Absolutely, he is. And the one thing I regret most during that period was actually defend Fauci from time to time, and that is one of my worst moments because Fauci is a fucking bureaucratic snake. Absolutely, 100%. That is essentially. That's what he is, and that's what he still is. And when they say that they follow the science, it's absolute horseshit. Absolute horseshit that they say that they follow the science.
Science is euphemism for politics. They're following the politics.
Because if you really follow the science, you would not have closed down the schools. You will not have allowed businesses with the age group of 35 to whatever to close down. You would really just go ahead and warn the elderly and warn people who are severely overweight and fat as shit and need to fucking go onto a fucking treadmill and go on a fucking diet because they'll die anyways. It's not just COVID that's going to kill them. It's also the fact that they're fat as shit and unhealthy as shit. You close the country over healthy people for the vulnerable pieces of shit that like to play victimhood like Taylor Lorenz. You don't do that.
And she is one of the worst offenders.
It was so stupid.
One of the worst offenders. So there has been some discussion on this particular aspect in which they're trying to change the narrative about the COVID vaccine. Jay, here's what I'm thinking. I think they discovered something wrong with the vaccine and that they are trying to get ahead of that by basically blaming Trump for rushing the vaccine. I mean, they literally used the term unproven treatments for COVID-19, treatments that actually ended up working. It wasn't
and the funny thing is like when you mentioned that during the pandemic, when you say these are unproven, when you say they didn't go through the proper testing, when you say all of this type of stuff, you are a conspiracy theorist. You're an anti-vaxxer. You are demonized. You are all of this this type of shit. And and now, like you're saying, they're trying to flip it in order to make it seem like Trump did all of this and all of this didn't even matter, and all of this didn't even make any fucking sense, and all of this is to 100% blame on Trump.
Essentially, they're literally it's literally revisionist history. They are retconning the shit out of this. They want you to believe the narrative now because they think you're too dumb to remember it.
Right. And people who watch MSNBC are that fucking dumb.
Yeah, and CNN. But I will say this, okay? There's that possibility that, that they want to get ahead of the story. But the other theory that I have, Jay, and this is one that I haven't really said much about, but do you think it's almost like a ploy to try to get Trump supporters to then unironically support the vaccine, say the vaccine was a good thing, and then all get the vaccine, and thus more and more people be vaccinated, thus fulfilling the World Economic Forum's prophecy to basically plant the chip in all of us, and
probably 100%.
Essentially.
God damn. I did it to myself. But the thing is
sitting at its finest, Jay.
No, it is. And I think the one thing that like the Trump tards and the mega hats and all that kind of stuff really had a missed opportunity on when this first happened, and he was able to like really streamline the vaccine and try to get everything back open and try to help, is that they didn't praise that. Like, you can still be like, I'm not going to get the vaccine, but what he did was amazing because he was able to, try to get things opened up and all that kind of stuff. Where the problem lied was the way that the media used this to divide you between being a vaxxer and an anti-vaxxer. This is where the divide really started happening.
All right, so this is like a perfect segue here because Aaron Rodgers, quarterback for the Green Bay Packers, went on Joe Rogan this week, and I have a little clip here that we can watch together. If you haven't watched it, highly recommend. First of all, Aaron Rodgers, base as fuck. I have to say, Aaron Rodgers, he is not the most based. There are moments in the podcast where I'm hearing him like, Aaron, slow your fucking roll. Like, and also Joe Rogan gets on, and look, Joe Rogan is liberal. As much as people want to say that he's like base, like he is still definitely liberal. Like their praise of Obama was just a little over the top. It was like on the
it was like a white guilt sucking black dick.
Yeah,
like that's what it was.
A little bit. So let's watch this a little bit. This is from the beginning of the podcast.
Hindsight is 20/20, right? We're looking at it from after it's over. And so many people, they just bought the narrative that was being promoted by CNN and MSNBC and wherever, that if you get vaccinated, you can't get COVID, you can't spread COVID. That was the narrative.
And that's my thing. Listen, I get it. Like, you want to test everybody every day? Cool. Yeah. That's fine. You don't want to keep people safe if that's the benchmark for it. But as we look back now, let's not revise history. Let's not revise history on what actually happened and what was said. Because what was said was, you get the vax, you can't spread it or contract it.
And no one seems upset that was a lie, including Birx, who has said that she had always known that it was not going to stop transmission and it was not going to stop people from spreading it, which is wild. She would say, we knew that you were still going to get it, even if you got vaccinated, which is, no one said that. No.
So just quick point on that, Jay, because I don't recall anyone is that like a new revelation that Deborah Birx knew that even with the vaccine, people were still going to get, like, did you know about that? I feel like it hasn't been really reported that much.
No, it hasn't. And that's what's really fucked up. It's really fucked up that you have this absolute bombshell. And it happens time and time and again because it doesn't go towards the narrative that they want. But this is a fucking bombshell happening, and it's landing on your lap, and you're refusing to really report on it and hit on it. That the fact that they knew that the vaccine would not stop spread, but said that it would stop it 98% of the time, or some bullshit fucking statistic that they just brought out of their fucking ass. And because they say that they're the experts and they say that they're the fucking scientists. We're supposed to take their words as fucking gospel. It is a play on words that is supposed to legitimize a fucking lie to support a narrative. And that is how they use experts in articles and in stories, how they use science in articles and stories just as a lie to push a fucking narrative.
It's really disgusting. All right, let's watch the rest of this.
Pandemic of the unvaccinated.
Yeah.
The what do they call the winter? The winter of death or whatever
Yeah,
for
I
the
saved
non-vaxxed.
I saved that. Winter of death and suffering.
Yeah.
It's like they were Game of Thrones. Like they were talking about the fucking White Walkers coming. Winter of death. I mean, Jesus Christ. It's so wild because at that point when they had said that, we had already realized like, oh, this is 78% of the people hospitalized were obese. Most of the people that died were either obese or very overweight or very old.
Comorbidities.
Yeah. 4 comorbidities, at least 4 for like more than 50% of the people.
Yeah. So,
But you can't fat shame. That's the thing. You can't fat shame.
One, you can't. Well, yeah. It's almost like they set the precedent early on. You can't fat shame, and if it's almost like all of this is by design.
No, but it is, and you don't even need
is.
to wear that. You don't even need to wear that.
I just wanted to put it on because I like putting it on. It makes
Right.
it warms my head up.
It helps stop the alien transmissions into your brain.
The infidel transmission into my brain. Yeah, Jay, they fucking ran. They dragged Rodgers through the fucking mud. If anybody look, I don't expect everyone to watch Joe Rogan, but like the one thing that was illuminating about that, and I didn't know this. I don't know if you knew this, Jay, was about Rodgers' allergy to polyethylene glycol, which is in the Pfizer and Moderna mRNA vaccines for COVID. And at that time, he mentions that the only other option that he could have taken was the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, but they pulled it because of blood clots. So what was he supposed to do? Everybody knew that he was unvaccinated because he was saying he had this yellow wristband, which basically the NFL mandated is like, if you are unvaccinated, you have to wear a yellow wristband. If you're vaccinated, you wear a green wristband. Maybe that's just a Packers or Green Bay Packers policy. But in any event, people that had no problem that he was unvaccinated. It wasn't until that he went to like a gathering of like 18 with 18 other people in like a big ass warehouse and was caught for that, where he was fined, that people were saying that, oh, Aaron Rodgers lied to the public about being vaccinated because what he said was he was immunized. And after that, I mean, like, there was no follow-up. No reporters followed up with him on that about what he meant by being immunized. So even if he had like all of these different like treatments for COVID, hold on. Oh, we have a visitor. Oh, we have a visitor.
Let's see him. It is the Caliphate himself, the Sheikh, the King, the Urn.
Oh, look at him.
He's right there.
Look at him, Ernie. Hi, bud.
Look at that little guy. Look at him.
What do you want to say to the people?
It's funny how like he does bark from time to time, but I can't wait to see him when I come down to Florida.
Which is next week, by the way. To the Habibi.
Is it next week? Oh shit! It is next week. Oh damn!
Ernie, you gonna see Uncle Jay?
Yep, I got an outfit for Florida. Absolutely amazing. It's like leopard shorts and a polo with pink flamingos. It's like it's so Florida, man. Get it.
Got treats in it. Oh. Okay. So yeah, really messed up what they did to Aaron Rodgers. Also, did you see?
Not just him, but also Djokovic. No,
and Novak
Djokovic.
Djokovic, but also Joe Rogan too.
Like he can't even go to he is the #1 seed tennis player. Like he is conditioned as a top motherfucking elite. Like his body, his conditioning, his fucking diet, all of that is like on a level that none of us can even fucking conceive. And they're like, you cannot play in the US Open because you're unvaxxed. Well, you have fucking
in 2022 they're saying this.
It's so fucking mind-boggling.
The pandemic is fucking over. How are we still enforcing these fucking rules? How are we still doing it?
Because they cannot admit that they were fucking wrong. That's why.
That is actually true.
They cannot admit it. They were the experts. They were the medical professionals. They were the ones that were supposed to set the policy. They were the ones who were supposed to set the rules. Their word was fucking it. Period. Done. This is what it is. But they were wrong. They were wrong as a motherfucker, and we have generations of kids that are going to fucking suffer because of this. We have economies that are not going to recover for fucking decades because of this. We have all of these issues that are going to really manifest in the next like fucking year to 6 months or whatever because of these fucking pieces of shit that are not going to be held accountable whatsoever for lying and for being absolute garbage, trash, shit.